Hey everyone, welcome back. For those of you who are new here, my name is Brittany. I'm a health coach and nutritionist, and my channel is all about helping you to create delicious, low FODMAP meals to improve your digestive health. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. I would really like to hit my first milestone of 100 subscribers by the end of quarantine, whenever that may be. All right, so today we are making a one-pot quinoa meal. I call it wait, what do I call it? I call it Saltado Quinoa Skillet, because it is based off of a Peruvian dish called Lomo Saltado, but it's a bit easier and it uses ground beef instead of steak. So today we're gonna be using a pound of ground beef, some green onion, cilantro, 1.5 bell peppers, 2 tomatoes, 1 cup of black beans, and a cup of quinoa, as well as some garlic oil, white wine vinegar, gluten-free soy sauce, and this Amarillo pepper paste. So I found this at the Mexican market. That's where I would suggest looking for it. You might be able to find it online, but it has such a great flavor to it. I don't technically know if it's low FODMAP or not because they don't have any information for it, which is kind of the downside of the low FODMAP. It's still kind of new. They haven't tested all of the foods. But if we look at the things that they have tested for, which are like chilies and bell peppers, you can kind of assume that a little bit will be okay, which is the case with most things. You know, everything in moderation, which is what I always say. I've never had a reaction to this, but again, we're all individuals. You kind of have to just see what your body can handle. Okay, so we're gonna start by cooking our quinoa. So we're gonna cook 1 cup of quinoa in our rice cooker. Okay, and we're gonna add 2 cups of water. That's the ratio for quinoa, same as regular white rice. My secret though, is to add some body chicken soup base. I always put it in my quinoa and my rice when I cook it. It just gives it like more flavor and makes it taste better. So I'm just gonna do about 1.5 teaspoons. Okay, just turn that on, let it cook. So we're going to chop up our bell peppers. The low FODMAP serving for bell peppers is 1/4 cup, and this recipe is for 6 people. So that's why we're using 1.5 bell peppers. Okay, so we're just removing the seeds from inside. Okay, so now we're just gonna dice these up. I was making this recipe the other day and my sister was helping me, and she was asking, why do you remove the seeds and the white parts from the bell pepper? And I told her that you can technically eat it, but it just tastes like a little bit bitter. It kind of tastes like the white part of an orange, like it's just not very good. So I would suggest removing it. Now we're gonna dice up our tomatoes. I like big chunks of tomatoes, so I'm just gonna give it a rough chop. Common vine-ripe tomatoes are FODMAP free, but you do wanna be careful when you are using Roma tomatoes or cherry tomatoes. All right, now we're just gonna head over to the stove and cook this up. Okay, we're gonna start by adding a couple of tablespoons of garlic oil. And we're gonna start to cook our bell peppers over high heat. All right, so our bell pepper has been browning for about 5 minutes. Now we're gonna add in our ground beef. All right, now that our ground beef is brown, we're going to add our seasoning. I think the coolest thing about this recipe is that there's no salt or pepper. It's literally just 3 things. Okay, now we're gonna add our beans and our tomatoes. Okay, now we're just gonna turn down the heat and cover that until our quinoa is done. All right, so our meat mixture has been cooking for about 5 minutes, and our quinoa is done. It's been steaming for a little bit, and now we're just going to mix it all together. Gonna add in our cilantro green onion and leave a little bit on the side for garnish. Okay, we're just gonna plate this up. Just a little taste. That was probably unnecessary, but let's have it. And there you have it, Saltado Quinoa Skillet. Gluten-free, low FODMAP, and ready in about 30 minutes. It's a great weeknight meal. It's so good. It's got a little crunch from the bell pepper, and it's got such rich flavor, which is the thing that I love, seeing that it's so simple. I want to eat more. It's so good. I just want to show you guys how to make this one because it's quick, it's much easier than Lomo Saltado, and it's potentially a one-pot meal. It's also nice and filling from the quinoa. It is a Peruvian dish, but it is fusion. So the Chinese immigrants in Peru were using Peruvian ingredients with a Chinese style of cooking to make like a stir fry. So it's just like a really unique dish. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. If it was, go ahead and like and subscribe. Go check me out on Instagram. I post a lot of recipes I don't necessarily make videos for. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.